the Sid Richardson Center in Fort Worth, Texas. We're glad to be with you here tonight. I'm Will Connerly alongside Brendan Snow, and we're looking forward to this matchup. The number 2 seed, the Langston Lady Lions, who have a 23-6 record, taking on the Wayland Baptist Flying Queens, who are 22-7, and they went 16-6. In conference play, a chance to play in the championship game and the Sooner Athletic Conference title coming up tomorrow night against John Brown. The winner will move on tomorrow night, but a good semifinal matchup on the docket between the number 2 seed and the number 3 seed. We bring in our color analyst, Brendan Snow. Brendan, break it down for us. What are you looking forward to most in this matchup?
Well, Will, everywhere I look in this matchup, the numbers just look the same on both sides, so evenly matched. They split the season series 1-1, with the last game being just 2.5 weeks ago. And at Langston, they won that game 77-58. But points per game, 74 for Wayland to 73 for Langston. Rebounds per game, 43 each. Turnovers per game, 15 for Langston, 16 for Wayland. They're about the same. And we're going to see a lot of effort and play down low in the paint. Langston, the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the SAC at 17 rebounds a game. And Wayland on the other side, 3rd in offensive rebounds per game at 16.1. And they hold the SAC Defensive Player of the Year and all SAC first team Megan Nestor, who's 4th in the nation in rebounding. We'll be calling her number a lot tonight.
She's certainly a presence on the glass, and another similarity between these two teams, the coaches, both newer at the helms. When you look at Wayland Baptist, you've got Jason Cooper in his 3rd season after they were able to beat Sagu in the SAC quarterfinals 82-62. They got the victory, and after getting 22 wins last year, he's looking for his 23rd and, more importantly, a ticket to the title game. Kevin Herod on the other side in his 2nd season, and again, more success. They went 500 in conference play in his 1st season. This year, they go 17-5 to the tune of a number 2 seed in this tournament as they defeated Southwest Christian in the SAC quarterfinals, 75-53. So both teams, as well as we juxtapose the similarities, they continue. Newer head coaches, and also they cruise to victories in the quarterfinal matchups as well. But tonight, we expect much different.
Yeah, I expect a very tight contested game. We just saw a great tight game right before this. John Brown defeating MacU 71-63. That game was a true barn burner all the way through. I think we can get a similar game here in Game 2. We have a lot of star players that we'll be calling out all night. You and I have talked off air pregame about Haley Jordan. She's a big-time player. Skylar Little, Kamisha Moore, for Langston. Kamisha, 11 points, 5 rebounds a game. Looking to get her going again. Already touched on Megan Nestor for Wayland, and Linda Bryce, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists a game for the Flying Queens. She was all SAC 3rd team. And Emily Sagala in the backcourt, the 5'2 junior guard. 5 assists per game, 20th in the nation. So Wayland has a lot of star players. I think looking at it, Langston looks a little deeper. But I think Wayland a little heavier at the top. So once again, it'll kind of come down to the 4th quarter, maybe whose legs are holding up.
It will be an absolute battle here tonight. We're really looking forward to it. The 3rd member of our crew, Jared Jones, alongside us as well tonight. And we really hope you're having a good time joining us on YouTube from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Here at the Sid Richardson Center, you're watching college basketball here tonight. Langston Lady Lions, Wayland Baptist Flying Queens will give you the starting lineups first for the Lady Lions. Number 5, Cameron Shelley, a 5'10 senior guard. Number 10, Haley Jordan, a 5'10 senior guard. Number 12, Skylar Little, a 6'1 senior forward. Number 13, Michaela Transu, a 5'7 junior guard. And number 14, Kamisha Moore, a 5'6 junior guard. For Wayland Baptist, the Flying Queens go with number 1, Linda Bryce, a 5'7 junior guard. Emily Segala, a 5'2 junior guard. Number 10, Megan Nestor, a 6'4 sophomore forward. Number 21, Ellie Brophy, a 5'9 sophomore guard. And number 33, the 6-foot freshman forward, Bobby Fouquet. That's the starting lineup, and we'll be right back with you from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball.
Wildcat team. Here's Tejada. Steps back right along the Texas-Mexico border to the Ferris logo at center court. He drives it, swatted away by Biles. Not to Mogul, over to Connor. 3 minutes left to go. Connor crossing the timeline, gets blitzed, tipped it is Johnson. Johnson rises up and throws it down. Tie game, 42-40. Knocking on the door, 3.5 left to go in the third. They kick to Amon, who's guarded again by Tomlin. Hesitation, step crosses, and to Olivier. Ferris working the double team. Harris under the basket, throws it down, count it and one.
Under 9 to play. Nice moves on Perry. Goes Lafayette. This one is left-handed shot off the backboard. Rolls off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Perry. Shelby and a slam.
Flanagan, he'll let go of 3 of his own. Short front iron it off. Chris Wiseman with a defensive board. Layup and swatted again. And it's a Carpenter who gets a screen. Almost double team. But it gets blitzed immediately. Follow away 3 for Carpenter. Count it and the foul! Set, no, not if anyone has anything to say or do about it is Eli Smith. Layup's no good. 15 seconds left. Francis on the drive. Smith and a putback dunk. What a slam for Cole! And a bucket again for the Pilots. Paul King, he gets his 5th point. Lob pass, it is thrown down. Look out below. The Mustangs slowly but surely getting things going on the offensive end. Bounce pass under the basket and the dunk right on Ferris Hill's head. How about that?
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Glad you're with us here tonight. From the ASN family of platforms, I'm Will Connerly alongside Brendan Snow, Jared Jones alongside, and you alongside with us. We're glad you're joining us here tonight for the second semifinal here in the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament. A chance to play John Brown in the championship game on the line, and we are underway. Wayland Baptist with the opening possession. They misfire, and here come the Lady Lions up the floor. And it's going to be a quick foul call against Megan Nestor. 16 points a game, 13 rebounds a game. She does quite a bit on the floor, but commits a foul early.
Yeah, and you really don't like your best player picking up a foul 19 seconds in the game, not defending the ball, just kind of trying to come up from behind and get an easy one. She's going to be important for the Flying Queens. They want to pull this one out.
Yeah, you talked about how we might mention her quite a bit tonight, but picks up an early foul. The 6'4 sophomore's a standout for sure. Moore going for three, misses right. Rebound picked up there by Bryce. A Northwestern Oklahoma A&M transfer gliding in the lane and a block, and picked back up there. Nice defensive play coming up from Skylar Little. And they get a quick touch of the paint. Too strong. And offensive rebound put back up by Jordan No. And it will be staying on this end for the Langston Lady Lions, a team that had lost 11 consecutive games against the Flying Queens until, well, February 15th when they were able to beat them and snap what was an 11-game losing streak.
Yeah, we saw right there already in that possession, Langston with an offensive rebound. Again, first in the conference at 17 a game, had 17 offensive rebounds in the win over Wayland Baptist 2.5 weeks ago.
Three on the shot clock. Got to get something off here. Transu. Too strong. Offensive board right on cue. There's Little. And there is a foul called. Offensive foul called. So after a couple of offensive rebounds, it's Michaela Transu, the Jackson, Tennessee native, who's called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, minute 15 in, no team scored yet. Emily Segala, the point guard for Wayland Baptist, 5 assists per game. That's 20th in the nation, even though it's just 5-2, Will.
Here's the three that's pulled. It's strong from Bryce. Rebound picked up. Here comes Langston in transition, going too quick, and they fumble it. Wayland Baptist leads the all-time series 11-2, but Langston won the last meeting, snapping what was an 11-game losing streak against this squad. So we shall see how it progresses here in the semifinal tonight. Bryce out to the corner for a deep two. It doesn't go on the attempt from Fouquet, the 6-foot freshman, who will be battling tonight. Down low, along with Nestor. That's going to be fun to see both of them go to work in the paint tonight. Wide open three, and it misses short there from Cameron Shelley. Wide open in transition, you bet. Ellie Bruffy from Lubbock, Texas, knocks it down.
Yeah, Ellie Bruffy, 30.5 on three-point attempts this year, her 30th make.
She is somebody who can really push the envelope from outside, 30% from three. Played on WBU's JV team. And now making a big impact, getting the first bucket in the semifinal of this conference tournament. Back out to Bruffy, the 5'9", sophomore guard. Fouquet feeds it inside. Gets it up to Nestor, but the 6'4 posts can't finish. A couple of very talented sophomores on this squad. They feed it inside, and a finish in the paint. It's Haley Jordan who gets it done.
That's where Haley Jordan does most of her damage inside. Doesn't look to stretch the floor too much because she's so talented down low. We've seen it a few times with the footwork.
Nice give and go. Linda Bryce with the finish. You mentioned it about Haley Jordan. 14.5 points, 6 rebounds, does it all on the hardwood.
She's calling for it now inside.
Somebody who's from Columbus, Ohio, played at UT Rio Grande Valley, and she scored 2K in her career at Langston, but a turnover picked up by the Flying Queens, and they, fly a little bit too quickly up the floor. It's thrown away there by Segala, and a turnover by the junior.
That's the first turnover for the Flying Queens, 4 for Langston. Both teams still struggling offensively to get started. 1 of 6 for the Lady Lions, 2 of 7 from the field for Wayland.
And both teams struggling early on. That's been a theme we've seen here today. However, it's not that we haven't seen offense, but throughout the day at the Sid Richardson Center in the Sooner Athletic Conference semifinals today, as a foul is called on the dribble inside by Quinay Love. But we've seen that teams have started off slowly. And maybe a reason why is a lot of times you're playing a team, like in this case for the 3rd time this season, the scouts are fresh, you know the actions that the opponent runs.
Yeah, again, you just played them 2.5 weeks ago, and then also playing them in this tournament style, playing back-to-backs and playing 3 games in 4 days rather than getting the whole week for 2 games.
In and out from 3, offensive rebound can't be put back in by Little. And great point, too. It really tests your endurance, and if you punch a ticket to the championship game, you're right back here tomorrow night. Segala gets it in the high post off to Nestor. Kick out for 3, and you can count it from downtown. Peyton North lines it up, the freshman. An 8-2 start out of the gate, and it's Wayland Baptist who nearly forces another turnover, but nope, the thumbs go up. It's a jump ball.
That possession will stay with the Lady Lions. Peyton North, we're talking about the last 3 for the freshman, another player who's kind of been struggling from 3, 24% coming in, just her 10th make. Now 38 attempts, but has really had it going in conference.
An 8-2 start. Midway through quarter number 1. Here's Haley Jordan. Switches to her right. Doesn't connect, but an offensive rebound from Skylar Little. And the 6'1 senior forward from Marietta, California, headed to the foul line. Mount San Antonio, California transfer. And she'll go to the charity stripe.
That's what Skylar Little gives this team. Only averages 2 points a game, does Little, but over 5.5 rebounds, 6 in conference. Just knows her role. Players that you have to have players when you get deep that know their role. Skylar Little, a perfect example. She rebounds, plays defense down low, and gets the ball to her talented scorers.
2 teams, like we mentioned, that cruised in the quarterfinal matchup, but these 2 teams split the regular season matchups. It's Langston, who finished the season winning 4 of their last 5 games to get that number 2 seed.
I saw him come in and beat Texas Wesleyan right here in this gym just about 2 weeks ago to one of those clutch wins. So keep that in mind that Langston had been here recently. They know the floor a little bit. Quinay Love, who we haven't touched on, she even played here at Texas Wesleyan for a year.
We'll see if Langston can't fill it up. Just 1 of 9 from the floor to start, but a good bucket there from a likely candidate in Haley Jordan.
And a press from Langston, and that forces a timeout.
And a timeout is going to be called by Wayland Baptist. You are watching from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Glad you're with us here tonight alongside Brendan Snow. I'm Will Connerly. Jared Jones with us here as well this evening, doing great work all day long on the production, and we're happy to be alongside you. Let us know where you're tuned in from in the comments on YouTube across the country, tuning into some Sooner Athletic Conference basketball. Segala on the drive after the timeout, and Brendan, one thing I was going to ask is, coming out of that, you see Langston gets a field goal now, just 2 of 10, and a quick timeout called by Jason Cooper. What do you think that discussion was like?
I have to be telling the team they're playing fine right now. Just some shots aren't falling. Maybe a couple too many turnovers. Langston's turned the ball over 4 times and just 2 of 10 from the field. But keep playing your game, keep getting to the basket, and soon you'll get rewarded some free throws.
Offensive rebound. That attempt isn't good either from Bryce, and here comes Langston. And a carry is called. Turnover there on Langston. Mentioned Langston 2 of 10 from the floor, and they've now turned it over 5 times. With 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, as the Flying Queens get it across. Setting up the offense is Emily Segala, the junior out of Plainview, Texas. Feeds it down low. Galeb with it down low, but coughing it up, and a turnover there. Basketball into the hands of the Lady Lions.
Yeah, Galeb's got to go up with that. She had a good catch on the roll, try to go to some post-to-post passing across the lane, and turned it over trying to fit into a tight spot, and she probably had a better look herself. Megan Nestor back in the game for Wayland.
Here is Kamisha Moore, the Pasadena, California native, who brings it up the floor. Corner 3 from Kirksey. And it'll stay over here. Kirksey out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. Also a teaching assistant. And right now, the grad student guard looking to get loose from outside. Shoots about 31% from range. Langston right now as a team just 1 of 5 from downtown, and that's cleaned up on the glass by Haley Jordan once again.
That was a very strong rebound flying in, Megan Nestor. Again, 4th in the whole nation in rebounds, 1st in the nation in offensive rebounds.
You talk about Megan Nestor, a very impressive player, 13 rebounds a game. And like you said, she is able to get on the glass there for the Flying Queens. On that last occasion for the Lady Lions, it's Jordan, though, who just mentioned, wasn't the one who grabbed that on the glass for Langston, although they would love to get her on the glass. Her and Transu, who lead in that department. Here is Moore. Out to Kirksey. Back to Moore, switch it to Rivera. Looking for a touch over the top. It's good. Down low, and it is Haley Jordan who gets it on that one.
Yeah, Megan Nestor tried to come help backside, but didn't want to pick up the foul. She was already playing with one. So she kind of pulled up on the backside help.
Bucket. Good from Ellie Brophy. And quickly back up the other end. Langston in transition. As Brittany gets it for the bucket. And the rebound collected by Langston's Brittany Rivera on the other end. Good trip for her. They get the ball in the hands of Jordan. The Flying Queens have it. 1-point game.
2-3 zone defense from Langston.
Keep going. Sing it. High low.
Steal from Jordan. She'll push it. Gives it off to Moore toward the timeline. Unable to finish the layup.
Yeah, Langston really is looking to get Kamisha Moore going. Only played 13 minutes last game because she was in foul trouble and fouled out.
Under 90 seconds to go here in the first frame, 1-point game. Neither team too hot from the floor. Langston just 4 of 16. Wayland Baptist 4 of 14. Easy look inside, and that's a high percentage look from Corey Kirksey. That gives the Lions a 1-point edge.
Another throwaway. That ball was not tipped. That's a 7th turnover on Wayland, 5 for Langston. Both teams, like we mentioned, struggling with the turnovers and shooting from the field. 4 of 14 for the Flying Queens, 5 of 17 for the Lady Lions.
With the basketball, after what was a slow start, talk about leading now, and with 50 seconds to go in this first quarter, Rivera on the kick out. A block is called in her pursuit. She tried to kick it out to Moore, but a foul called on the floor before. As they'll tag Bruffy with the foul. 4 fouls on the Flying Queens, 3 on the Lions here in the first quarter. If you get to 5, it's double bonus time, but both teams trying to avoid that. Brendan, with just 39 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and traditionally both these teams get to the foul line a lot. Just a total of 2 free throws in this first quarter so far. Langston 1 of 2. Normally the Lady Lions attempt 23 free throws a game. Well, actually, it's Wayland. Wayland attempts 23 free throws a game. Langston attempts 19. And there's a stop.
A stop. That's right. Not sure why, though. There was a block called, and now they go to the monitor. We'll bring in maybe the third member of our crew, Jared Jones. Jared, any clue on what's going on here? I mean, obviously when they go to the scorer's table, maybe they're looking at the clock, maybe they're looking at the shot clock, maybe they're looking at if it was more than just a blocking foul, but the stop here, no explanation.
Well, don't think they're going to the table for a review. Initially, there was a shot clock reset to 20 seconds. Of course, the shot clock is reset to 20. Now the officials convening at center court. I don't know. We have a good old-fashioned trope when we talk about referees if we don't know what they're asking. Are they going to Applebee's or Chili's after the game? That's the main question. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know. Not 100% sure.
My vote's Chili's, but
I can second that, Brennan. I can second that.
Don't know, but either way, I mean, you'll get a good deal after 9 o'clock. Oh, man. But a 1-point game. They didn't announce what the stoppage was for. We'll see if they may give us an explanation.
See the Langston coach not happy on the sideline, absolutely dumbfounded. We might be just as dumbfounded as he is because we still don't know what happened.
We really don't. And so now it's Wayland Baptist who is going to shoot foul shots.
Well, now we're getting some scorebook confirmations.
Yeah, but this is going to be Sigalo who's going to the foul line right now. And the explanation for this would be perhaps a technical foul called against Langston when we thought it was Wayland Baptist who committed the foul. Now they're at the foul line. They tie the game on that shot.
Yeah, again, nothing announced yet. Trying to figure out maybe it was – and that's what I thought. I was thinking it was a number error of some sort in the scorebook.
Oh.
Someone checked in wearing the wrong number or didn't sign in on the book.
That's a big one in the Sooner Athletic Conference semifinal game. A number error in the scorebook is the confirmation that we're getting here courtside. Interesting.
Emily Sigala misses the free throw. Langston avoids.
So they get a tech for that. Have to have the correct numbers in the book, and they must have not had it. So how about that, Brendan Snow? So 35 was listed as 55 for Langston, and that is what ended up messing things up. Maddie Boyd, wrong number listed And so Langston assessed a technical, and the Flying Queens with the basketball, knotting it up at 11. Shout out to Jared Jones and the rest of our crew for finding that information. The three is strong on the attempt there from Peyton North. Missed it well north of the iron, and 16 seconds left.
Obviously, the shot didn't go, but that's the right look and the right action you want against that 2-3 zone. Going to the high post with Megan Nestor inside out, have the defense back turns. I don't think you see Peyton North turn down any more of those looks.
But she does come out and commit a foul with just 6 seconds left. In this first quarter, that will afford foul shots for the Lady Lions.
Brittany Rivera at the line, 64% foul line shooter. I remember Brittany a couple weeks ago in the Texas Wesleyan game here kind of took over when she came in off the bench. I don't have the stats in front of me. I think she had a double-double off the bench in that game or close to. She came in and grabbed 5 or 6 offensive rebounds and really kind of turned the tide for Langston in the Texas Wesleyan women's game a few weeks ago.
You talk about Langston, too, a team that has had the opportunity to take more shots in this game as the first one is knocked down from Brittany Rivera, the Collinsville, Alabama native. And, well, a reason why is they've had 5 offensive rebounds. That's what you talked about early. Offensive rebounds is the name of the game for a team like Langston. They get one off a missed foul shot there. But they retain it. At the buzzer, it's not going to be off in time, but the Lions will go to the second quarter leading by a point. From the ASN family of platforms, we'll be back for the second quarter next. This is college basketball.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
We're back with you in Fort Worth, Texas at the Sid Richardson Center here for the Sooner Athletic Conference second women's basketball semifinal here between the number 2 seed, the Langston Lady Lions, and the number 3 seed, the Wayland Baptist Flying Queens. I'm Will Connerly alongside Brendan Snow. 1-point game as we start the second quarter. Neither team shot above 30% in the first quarter, but a late technical, some wild things happen, and all of a sudden the Lions lead by a point as we start quarter number 2.
Yeah, closely contested first quarter is what I'm looking at. 7 turnovers for Wayland that resulted in just 5 Langston points. Remember, Langston had some troubles turning over 5 times, but the Flying Queens did not score on any of those turnovers.
The Flying Queens led by as many as 6 points about midway through that first quarter, but it was tightly contested. We'll see if either offense can't get going a little bit more here in quarter number 2. That's a good defensive play, though, from Haley Jordan. Here come the Lady Lions. Lining up a triple here. Miss, but offensive rebound. That's not put back in either off the miss from Cameron Shelley. And here come the Flying Queens.
Yeah, freshman Bobby Fouquet came flying backside for the block shot and the rebound.
Picking up the dribble. It's Fouquet well away from the bucket. Here's Bryce. Four on the timer. Segala kicks it out. Fouquet. And you can bet Fouquet is raining it. And it's 14-12. The Flying Queens go up by a couple. as Fouquet knocks it down as the shot clock was about to expire.
She is the lead three-point shooter for Wayland Baptist. Made 43 now in the season, leads the team in 31%.
In the Sooner Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year, it's a big bucket. Here is Bryce. Gets it out to the 5'2 junior guard in Sigala. Back in the high post to Fouquet. This time she goes inside. Unable to get it. Jordan with the rebound. And the Lady Lions go for a quick three. Nothing drawn on the iron, and it will go back up the way of the Flying Queens.
That was a quick shot from Brittany Rivera. Langston probably like to work it a little bit more. Keep getting inside. You're 1 of 7 from 3.
Bryce looking to set up this offense. And on the other hand, Wayland Baptist 3 of 6 on threes, but they miss inside on the 2. Here come the Lady Lions back in transition. They go quick again, and this time it pays off. Kamisha Moore with a nice basket and a chance for an and one, and an opportunity to take the lead as well. With this foul shot knotted up at 14. Limited foul shots today, Brendan. Each team just 1 of 2.
Yeah, I like Langston right there and Kamisha Moore, though. Looking to attack and transition a little bit. Things haven't been working too well in the half court. Start trying to use your athleticism, get some easy buckets that way. Start maybe outrunning the Flying Queens. Defensively, the Lions zones giving Wayland Baptist a lot of problems.
High post turnaround from the elbow from Fouquet, who gets 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, misses there, and the transition game is killer for the Lady Lions to start this second quarter. It's Haley Jordan. And it's Fouquet who steps out of bounds there to turn it over. The Lady Lions getting some momentum, and Brendan, it's because they're running in transition. Neither team really scored a ton off the break in that first quarter, but you can see the Lions really trying to push it now.
Yeah, they keep getting turnovers from Wayland. 9th turnover from the Flying Queen, and that's what you have to take advantage and get in transition. Oh, the other team's gifting you, especially there have been a lot of live ball turnovers.
Backdoor cut, but a deflection. Not turnover, though, as it's Sigala who touched it last and went out of bounds. We'd like to let you know that the SAC Commissioner, John Martin, is going to be joining us at halftime, so be sure to lock into that. And we'll get Mr. John Martin's thoughts on everything happening in the Sooner Athletic Conference basketball tournament and the semifinals and finals here in Fort Worth, Texas. We'd also like to give a shout out to Jim Powers, the Director of Athletic Communications for the Sooner Athletic Conference. Does a lot of great work helping put things together from a media side for this conference as well.
Yeah, excited for that halftime talk.
Offensive foul called. It looked like for a moment Nestor had an opportunity to put it in, but that's waved off.
Yeah, Taylor Houston, the 6'1 sophomore forward out of Idalou, Texas, commits. It's a foul and a turnover.
A travel call by Quinae Love, the Tulsa, Oklahoma native. Went to Will Rogers High School, played, like you said, at Texas Wesleyan. Was the number 14 JUCO player in the country. Once upon a time, but the 5'3 junior guard is walking right there. Down the high post. Off to Nestor. Gives it back off to Sigala. They swing it around back to Fouquet. High post into Nestor. She turns and connects.
Yeah, Nestor wasn't even looking to shoot. Just turned around, kept looking to pass. Realized she had enough space for the mid-range jumper. Might get her going. Now we see a zone defense from Wayland. 3-2.
1-point game with about 6 minutes to go until the intermission. And like we mentioned, we're getting the commissioner on at the intermission. However, great game on our hands, Brendan. And you talked about it in the pregame show. These two teams split in the regular season, and they're hungry. The 2 seed versus the 3 seed in a semifinal. What else could you ask for? And trying to punch a ticket to go play a team that, well, they've been pretty darn good all year long in this conference in John Brown.
Yeah, John Brown just last few years for this conference, always in that conference Final Four championships.
3 fired. Nothing drawn. Rebound picked up by Jordan. In transition, going a little too quick once again by the Lions. And, you know, you can live and die by it when you want to go quick. A couple times we've seen it pay off, and a few other times, well, they've coughed it up.
Yeah, and when these two teams played last, there was a lot of turnovers in that one, a lot today, but we got a timeout. We'll talk about it on the other side.
We will, as Wayland Baptist wants to talk it over. We'll step aside as well from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball. We're back with you in Fort Worth, Texas. Langston leading by a point, much thanks to Haley Jordan, someone who averages 14.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. She shoots 52% from the floor. She's 4 of 9 right now. She's connected on a 3. And with 5:28 to go, Brendan, in this second quarter, she has 9 points and 5 boards already. Production.
She's been extremely active, attacking the middle of this defense.
Here's
Lions
more, and like you said, active, attacking, and another bucket for Haley Jordan. She's got 11. Right on cue, Brendan.
Yeah, Wayland has to figure out maybe a way to start maybe slowing the game down a little bit.
For Jordan, she runs the floor at such a high level, but she can back you down in the half court too. It's such a versatile game, but so can Megan Nestor. And she gets a big bucket, a much needed bucket out of the timeout for the Flying Queens.
Good recovery.
What a turnover pickup from Bruffy. Kevin Herron in his second season for Langston. They only went 11-11 last year. In conference play, lost in the SAC semifinals a year ago. They get back here this point as the number 2 seed.
Man, what a cool play that was out of Emily Segala. We talked about, again, just a 5'2" junior guard. You can tell out there she's 5'2", but able to still break down, attack defenders. Had a little hesitation right there, and then a no-look dump-off. Acted like she was shooting it, dumped it off to Nestor, who drew the foul. So nice when you have a floor general that sets up the offense.
100%. And for her, you mentioned 5'2" junior guard, but from Plainview, Texas, knows how to perform in this state. And in her time at Plainview High School, she was named the SB Live National Player of the Week for one of her performances during her decorated time there. And shoots the ball at a really high level from the stripe. 85% right there, though. It was an opportunity for Wayland Baptist to take a 20-19 lead. After Nestor was good from 2 at the line, they go back up the floor. Out to Segala. Trying to be a playmaker, gets 5 assists a game. 7 points and 2 boards. And trying to continue to create. Bryce feeds it inside. It rolls off the iron from Houston. Kirksey skip to the corner. Step inside, and it rolls off, nearly down for Shelley, but it's picked up by the Flying Queens, and they cough it up.
Both teams with the 11 turnovers. Again, it's going to see which team starts getting hot and gets on a run kind of first. These two teams aren't going to continue to shoot 30 and 32% from the field. They traditionally shoot around the 40s.
We're going to take a timeout from the ASM family of platforms. This is college basketball. Back with you in Fort Worth, Texas at the Sid Richardson Center alongside Brandon Snow. I'm Will Connerly, and we've got a game. Flying Queens leading by a point. Lady Lions with the ball out of the timeout.
I feel like the game's been within 1 or 2 points the whole entire first half. No separation.
And a buried shot there from Cameron Shelley. A double-figure score for the Lady Lions and gets it done to take a 21-20 lead.
Cameron Shelley had 25 points in Langston's last contest.
Steal coming from Moore. She'll pull it out. The 3 left short from Kirksey. Here's Bruffy. Out to Segala. Off the heel. And Shelley. Bounce pass up the lane. One more down, and it's a nice bucket from Cameron Shelley.
And again, Langston in transition. The fast break points feels like all their buckets. And when you have a 2-on-1 and the one is the 5'2" Emily Segala, feels pretty automatic.
Segala with the shot clock winding down, looking for a feed over the top, and it's a turnover. Nice steal from Coria Kirksey, but a double dribble called back up the other way against Moore.
I was saying earlier before that timeout that when these two teams played 2.5 weeks ago, Langston had 16 turnovers, WBU had 19. In this first half alone, Wayland with 13 and Langston with 12.
So they've coughed it up quite a bit. Who can value the rock? That's going to be the question down the stretch here. And a foul called. That's going to be a push against Langston as they try to get a touch inside of Fouquet. They'll tag Brittany Rivera on the foul. And in that matchup, too, I mean, it was huge for Langston in the sense not only did that win help them finish the regular season strong, winning 4 of their last 5 and getting the 2 seed, as Megan Nestor's fouled under the hoop. She'll go to the foul line. The All-SAC first-team player, and, well, she was also a strong SAC defensive player of the year as well. Can do it all. The 6'4" sophomore forward headed to the foul line. And so a couple of shots coming up for Wayland Baptist. Megan Nestor able to connect on the first.
It was the second foul on Haley Jordan in the first half.
And so she goes to the bench, picking up a couple. Someone who has been great in this game with 11 and 5, but like you said, picks up her second. Moore in the lane, off there to Skylar Little, and she makes it happen. What a contest we've had on our hands. Another feed to Nestor. Kicks it out to Bryce, and it's taken away. Another turnover. Here comes Moore up the lane, and unable to finish is Shelley. And that play right there, a little bit of what we've seen tonight. Some would say maybe a lot of bit of what we've seen tonight, in the fact that you'll have Langston force a turnover, but then they turn it over themselves, not on that occasion, by going too quick after a forced turnover in the half court. Because most of Langston's turnovers have come in transition, while Wayland Baptist has mainly turned it over in the half court. Hey, they all go down as TO in the scorebook, but that's a little bit of a glimpse of what we've witnessed tonight. As it will be Langston's Maddie Boyd headed to the foul line, wearing number 55, and, well, because of that reason is why we saw a technical early in this game, because listed as number 35 on the roster.
Megan Nestor picked up her second foul on the play. She thought she had a clean block. A good 2-for-2 trip, a 5-point lead for the Lady Lions. This might be the biggest lead for either team tonight. Close.
27-22. 25 seconds left in the first half. Mentioned Nestor with a couple fouls. After that, 3 from Bruffy. Offensive rebound by Nestor. Gives it off to Bryce. Kicks it out to Segala. Unable to connect. 8 seconds left. Off the rebound. Up the lane and a finish. Coria Kirksey. A big bucket for her as the second quarter comes to a close. 29-22. The largest lead that anybody's had in this game. As we go to the intermission, we thank you for joining us from the ASN family of platforms. We've got the commissioner coming up next, and this is college basketball. You're doing fantastic.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
We're back with you inside the Sid Richardson Center here in Fort Worth, Texas. At halftime, good game on our hands. Langston leading 29-22 at the break alongside Brendan Snow. I'm Will Connerly, and we've got the honor, privilege, and pleasure of being joined alongside John Martin, the Sooner Athletic Conference Commissioner here at halftime. John, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm a little tired. Had some great ball games so far, and this one should be another barn burner, hoping so.
Absolutely. I mean, the games have been fantastic here in Fort Worth, and a great place to have the conference tournament. Talk about everything coming together for the Sid Richardson Center to host the semifinals and championships.
Oh, yeah, they're doing a great job. Last year we had the championship at Mid-America Christian University, and they kind of set the bar for what the conference expects. But Texas Wesleyan's doing a great job. They're the great hosts. Even though their teams are not playing in it, they still have a lot of people helping out, and a lot of fans came out. So we're really thankful for them to open up their facilities to us.
And John Martin, talk to us a little bit about the Student Athletic Conference, just how much it's been growing as of lately. I didn't know about it. I grew up in the area. I had no idea about some of these schools. I go to college. Now I learn about this whole other conference and world of basketball and sports that exists.
Yeah.
And they seem to be growing. I'm seeing it more and more. And even recently, some NAIA guy got drafted a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So
we've been around a while, but definitely in the last couple of years, we've really focused on student-athlete experience. And a lot of the kids are playing here. I say kids, they're adults, but they play for the love of the game. There will be a few that actually do get to play in the next level, whether it's professional baseball, maybe some overseas basketball, things like that. But they're really here because they love the game. They're really dedicated. We just don't have our games televised on ABC and ESPN, but these kids have a lot of passion, and as you can see, so do the coaches. So it's a great product. NAIA is a great product, and the SAC is as well.
And I know you certainly have a lot of passion for the NAIA for many reasons, not only serving as commissioner of the Sooner Athletic Conference, but having a lot of success as a student athlete in the NAIA. And I just would love to hear your thoughts. If we focus on the men's side, a place where you were able to win a national title, I mean, the Sooner Athletic Conference has produced many national champions recently, and it feels like you got another contender this year with Langston, the number 2 team in the land.
We sure do. They are really well coached. Those kids play hard. They play smart. We expect great things from them. They're obviously one of the best teams in the nation. But even if you took this Langston team, and put them back in the early 2000s, when there's a lot of teams winning national championships, Oklahoma City University, Oklahoma Baptist, they could compete and win championships in that era as well. And on the women's side, John Brown, went undefeated all the way through conference. So another, very, very good title chance for them as well. And also very well coached, and those girls play hard. It's just fun to watch.
And you mentioned the Oklahoma City teams that won back in the day. You were part of a championship-winning team for Oklahoma City, right? Yeah.
So I played in 1994. We won the NAIA championship, and it was funny. I had a little. There was a reunion for the '94 team, a 30-year reunion, and at one of the games, it was during a classic that Oklahoma City was hosting, and one of the coaches was the Wayland Baptist men's coach, who was born in '94. So that made me feel really, really old. But, it was a long time ago. But those are really good memories. And the SAC was really tough back then. And we've gone through some changes in membership, since in that time. But definitely have some good products again this year.
And so after you win the national title in 1994, you start your career in athletics as a coach, right? As a graduate assistant, and you lead another title there.
Yeah, I did a lot of rebounding for those guys. My graduate assistant role was really rebounding for the shooters after practice, and that was fine. We had some great players on that team as well, and it was nice to be part of that. And it was my alma mater, and I got a master's from OCU while winning a championship. That's it's hard to beat that. So, yeah.
I want to go back. I know usually in the past these tournaments were mostly held at Oklahoma City, all the conference tournaments. Now just recently you've started branching out, doing them at other schools.
Yeah, we have. So they were for a long time. They were at either Oklahoma City University or Oklahoma Baptist. Back and forth for a few years there, but we're trying to spread it out. So this year it's at Texas Wesleyan. Next year it's going to be at Langston. And then in the spring meetings that I have with athletic directors, that's when we determine where the next one's going to be after 25. So we're really trying to get it, in the Oklahoma City metro area and then possibly down in the Dallas Metroplex. But we can branch out as far as, John Brown up in Siloam Springs. They hosted it before the last couple of years, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they've done it before that as well. So we'd love to be able to spread it out and show everyone what the conference is all about.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And you talk about, earlier you being the commissioner of this league, and with the history of this league, right? You're just the third commissioner, right? Because 1978. So You're talking, in a few years we'll say, hey, it's been half a century.
Right.
Any big plans for the 50th year anniversary coming up?
Well, not sure yet, but that's on the to-do list, definitely. And I actually spoke with the first commissioner, John Hudson, on the phone today as I was driving in from Oklahoma City, and he's still very active in the conference. He still assigns referees and comes to games. Couldn't make it to this one, but we've had some really good commissioners before me, so I've got some big shoes to fill, definitely.
And one thing I will say, you did mention, speaking of big shoes to fill, last thing I'll say is, I know the games aren't on ESPN and ABC, but give a lot of credit to a guy like Jared Jones, because he puts on a great production here for the broadcast.
There's no doubt. I've already heard today from multiple people saying how fantastic the production has been. So we're really excited about it. We love having you here, no doubt. Kudos to you. Yep.
The Sooner Athletic Conference joining us. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Great time hearing from you.
Appreciate
and
it.
We hope you enjoy the second half and the championships tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll take a timeout. You're watching from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Wildcat team. Here's Tejada. Steps back right along the Texas-Mexico border to the Ferris logo at center court. He drives it, swatted away by Biles. Not to Mogul, over to Connor. 3 minutes left to go. Connor crossing the timeline, gets blitzed. Tipped it is Johnson. Johnson rises up and throws it down. Tie game, 42-40. Knocking on the door, 3.5 left to go in the third. They kick to Amon, who's guarded again by Tomlin. Hesitation, step crosses, and to Olivier. Ferris working the double team. Harris under the basket, throws it down. Count it and one.
Under 9 to play. Nice moves on Perry. Goes Lafayette. This one is left-handed shot off the backboard. Rolls off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Perry. Shelby and a slam.
Flanagan, he'll let go of 3 of his own. Short front iron it off. Chris Wiseman with a defensive board. Layup and swatted again. Hand it to Carpenter, who gets a screen. Almost double team, but it gets blitzed immediately. Follow away 3 for Carpenter. Count it and the foul. Set, no, not if anyone has anything to say or do about it is Eli Smith. Layup's no good. 15 seconds left. Francis on the drive. Smith and a putback dunk. What a slam from Cole. And a bucket again for the Pilots.
We are back. A ticket to the championship game on the line in the second half of action. Langston leading Wayland Baptist as we start the third quarter. Alongside Brendan Snow, I'm Will Connerly. Jared Jones with us, doing great work on the production all day long as well. Brendan, what are you looking forward to in this second half of action as the Flying Queens pick up an early foul here in quarter number 3?
Looking forward to some shots to start falling for these two teams again. Langston did start falling late in the half. They got to 39% now shooting, but Wayland still shooting just 25%.
And a big-time 3 hit by Langston. Michaela Transu, who gets the bucket and opening up and extending on the largest lead of the game here for Langston as Bobby Fouquet will go to the line.
Yeah, and that's what you do against a zone. It was a 2-3 zone from the Lady Lions. You go high-low. I heard Coach Jason Cooper yell it out earlier when they first got in the zone. High-low, high-low. You get the ball to one of your post players, which for Wayland is one of your best players, and you dump it down low to your other post player, and Bobby Fouquet. She earns free throws.
And so the high-low action with the 6-foot freshman forward, all SAC honorable mention and SAC freshman of the year, getting 11, 5, and 2 a game. 2 assists, too, at 6 feet tall. A solid trip at the line, 32-24. Langston.
So that foul with Skylar Little's third got her out of the game.
So Skylar goes to the bench. Skylar Little with 3. And it's Langston continuing to connect Shea Rout.
Well, that's who just checked in.
And she knocks down a deep 2. A 10-point lead. Bryce, a touch off to Bruffy. Feed inside to Nestor. They want her to get going. Out front for 3. Off the back from Bruffy. And Nestor, a diving play to save it. And it will stay on this end for the Flying Queens as she flew for that basketball.
Yeah, Megan Nestor uses her size and her will to get so many loose balls. Again, leads the nation in offensive rebounds per game at 6.4. Gets 2 steals a game. Gets a block per game. Every loose ball, Nestor's around it.
It's wild. 6 offensive rebounds a game is incredible. That's not even half of her total production on the glass either. And there is an offensive rebound right there. And it leads to a missed layup, but another offensive rebound from Bryce collecting her own miss. And how about off the dribble, Fouquet to Stroy. Another offensive rebound for Bryce. She gets rejected, and eventually Haley Jordan's swat puts it up to the other end. And off the glass, it's Cameron Shelley for the basket.
Yeah, this is a handful of times for Wayland Baptist when they're getting back on defense. It's just Emily Segala that's back defensively, and there's just not much you can do against the Langston break.
They have really looked good off the break since the second quarter. Fouquet missing a couple of close ones. Rebound pulled down by the Lions, and this time they're going to pull it out, not fully go in transition, want to set something up in the half court. Leading 36-24 now. That's in the high post, and a foul is called on the shot from Cameron Shelley. Going to be on Ellie Bruffy. That's her third foul. So she's got 3. Peyton North has 3. It's a little bit of trouble. The bigger trouble, though, for the Flying Queens is they're trailing 36-24 right now.
Yeah, when you're trailing, obviously the last thing you want to do is give the other team free throws. So trailing this early.
And the biggest struggle tonight has just been the shooting overall for Wayland Baptist. They're just 7 of 35 tonight. That's good for 20% from the floor here this evening, as Nestor is unable to connect on the block. And here comes the Lady Lions once again, and they cough it up. It's been another key tonight in the turnover department. This time it's going to stay on this end, but coughing it up a little bit and luckily getting a deflection out of play. It's going to stay with Langston, but 14 turnovers for Wayland Baptist, 12 for Langston on the night.
Stay with her, Meg.
But all those turnovers in the first half, none yet for either team in the first 2.5 minutes. The clock hasn't started.
Yeah, that's interesting. The clock is not moving right now, but game action is going on.
I think someone else would notice.
How long till somebody notices precious ticks going off the clock? Wayland Baptist certainly wouldn't mind, but 1 second came off the clock. It started at 7:31 on the inbound, and now it's down to 7:30. That's the longest second you've ever had, for sure.
Langston right back to the free throw line. Transu, 69%.
For Wayland Baptist, number 30, Marshall Bowman, checking in.
But how much time came off the clock you would expect, right? I mean, 6-7 seconds, right? Hey, if it comes down to the final seconds, we're going to be talking and looking back at the tape. 7:30 in the third quarter. Bookmark it.
One more free throw.
But at the end of the day, it's still afforded opportunity. As you mentioned, the Jackson, Tennessee native at the foul line. And it's strong rebound picked up by Linda Bryce. 3 fired. Coming up empty, and now in transition, getting fouled. It'll be Kamisha Moore heading to the line, as Bryce was unable to connect on that deep shot. Wayland Baptist now just 3 of 13 from outside. Langston, not great from outside either, just 2 of 9, but they're shooting 44% from the floor compared to 18% for Wayland Baptist.
A foul on Emily Segala, her second, and I don't want to sound a little bit like a broken record, but she's often just back defensively by herself in the paint trying to stop the Langston breaks. She's the one that has check defensively, and I think that's why Langston's running at it.
And it's certainly impressive that she's back, but obviously wants the rest of the bunch too. Segala, 5'2" junior from Plainview, as we mentioned, and great player, 7-2 and 5 a game for her. And the junior guard trying to spearhead a comeback has a dog named Atticus, and she'll try to be a dog in this second half. So that'll send Peyton North to the foul line.
Second foul on Brittany Rivera. Peyton North and stay on the floor a little bit more in the second half. Had the foul trouble early. Just 3 minutes in the first half.
And North, the freshman, is able to knock it in. Like you said, can she be somebody to help out Wayland Baptist get going from the floor? Langston strong on the attempt from Rout, but they retain the offensive rebound. And a travel is called. When we left you hanging, we were talking to you about Emily Segala. And interesting to learn about these players off the court. As you see her having the ball now. The full name of her dog, Atticus James. Pretty cool name, Brendan.
Yeah, I don't know how often I'm yelling out that full name.
Only when it's in trouble, as that shot is missed short from Peyton North.
The 5th rebound for Brittany Rivera off the bench. Averages 5 per game.
6 minutes to go in the third. And from out front, misses from Kirksey, but a whistle called under the hoop after the fact.
Again, that was caused by Brittany Rivera. She came flying in and slapped that ball down right to Kamisha Moore.
And we'll have Moore, who's 76% from the foul line, heading to the stripe. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists a game. Misses the first. And, well, took her talents from Pasadena, California, down to San Antonio, California. Mount San Antonio is where she played. Not San Antonio, Texas, but a school in California, Mount San Antonio. Then, well, she came over to Oklahoma and plays for Langston now. And here's a turnover. Rivera coming up. Short in transition. Peyton North hitting the deck nearly for the board, but it goes through her hands. And right now, it's all Langston, a team that had lost 11 straight games to the Flying Queens until the 15th day of February this year. Langston finished the year strong, winning 4 of their last 5. These two split in the regular season. But Kevin Harrod's done a great job in his second season. Had the most wins for an HBCU women's coach in 8 seasons when he got 171 at Talladega College. Impressive work from him. And now the whistle is called.
Shot clock.
And it was the shot clock. We talked about the clock from the 7:31 to 7:30 mark earlier. And now, more discussion. And for that breakdown, Brandon Snow, what do you think?
Well, this time Wayland was quick to notice the shot clock, which was you think maybe Wayland wouldn't want to call out that the shot clock wouldn't stop because, well, actually, no, it was Langston with the ball. I got them flipped around there, but Wayland called it out. Then the shot clock wasn't running. I don't know why the stoppage is going to take so long. I guess they want to get the seconds down exactly.
Yes.
But I was going to touch on this game started getting away from the Flying Queens late in that second quarter. That's when Langston, they got a 7-point lead at the half, 29-22. It's been an 11-4 run here to start quarter number 3. And I mentioned at the half, both teams are shooting around 30%. Langston was able to get it up to 40.5%. But Wayland has been dropping 18% from the field. They've made 7 of 38 shots. That's the story right there. 7 of 38 shooting and 15 turnovers. You're kind of lucky to only be down 14.
Yeah. It's tough. It is tough to win ball games. Goes without saying, it's a make or miss game. And right now, when you look at the numbers, you just explained it, Brandon. It's been a lot of miss for Wayland Baptist, just 18%.
Yeah, more turnovers than made shots. Luckily, the reason Wayland's still only down 14 is because Langston's only scored 9 points on the 15 turnovers. With the rebound margin, +9 for Langston. Offensive rebounds, they're about even 9 to 8 advantage Langston.
But they're still trying to figure out this clock. That's the interesting thing here.
It only happens in the last game, right? You didn't have these stoppages earlier.
Didn't? No, but let's be honest. This is the 4th game of the day. The clock's been working all day, too.
Yeah, he's not used to these long days.
The clock might not be used to it, right? So a little bit of clock malfunction in Game 4 at the Sid Richardson Center. Here's what we can hope tonight. A good 8 hours of sleep, and it'll be ready to go for some championship games tomorrow. But as they try to fix the clock, these two teams are hoping for a ticket to face John Brown, a team that, well, they were as good as any. Didn't lose a conference game this year. So that's what's on the line right now. Langston in the driver's seat because of what we mentioned. Wayland Baptist just shooting 18% from the floor. So they change it to 5:37. Now this was one we talked about earlier at the beginning of the game where it was just a couple seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock, and they fixed it. They didn't have to carry the one. Right here, a little math had to be done, but they figure it out. And right after it, well, the clock will stop immediately again after Langston gets fouled. And they'll be heading to the foul line to try to cash in on some more foul shots. They're 8 of 13 at the stripe today. And it will be Haley Jordan who goes to the foul line.
Number 24, Taylor Houston, call on the personal foul.
5.5 left in the third. We've seen nearly 30 turnovers in this game. 15 for Wayland Baptist, 13 for Langston. But not that many points off of those said turnovers. Just 11 for Langston now and 6 for Wayland Baptist off the turnovers. And
Langston thought they had another steal.
Almost coughed it up.
Langston still up 16, still stepping foot on the gas with the press after the make. Well, now they call off the Hounds and back up. Back into the 2-3 zone. Haley Jordan in the middle.
Facing your largest deficit midway through the third. The Flying Queens need a response, and they need it now. They've committed 5 fouls in the third as well. Wide open and left it short off the inbound on the attempt from Bowden.
And 2 more misses on good looks for Wayland.
A tough night from the floor for them, for a team that averages 74 points a game. They've just got 26 midway through the third.
There's the Defense Player of the Year making a steal.
They'll need her to come up with some big plays. 16 and 13. First team all-conference player from St. Lucia, and of course Defensive Player of the Year. In the scary part for the rest of the Sooner Athletic Conference, and we talked about the Sooner Athletic Conference in full at halftime. If you missed it, well, you can download this broadcast or go back and watch it and hear our conversation with John Martin. And he talked about the high level of play, and I'm sure they're excited. Just a sophomore, and she does some great work at 6'4", making great plays, but it is going to be Bowden who is able to go to the foul line.
That's something I maybe would have liked to ask John Martin if we had a little bit more time with him about keeping talent in the Student Athletic Conference and the NAIA Conference, because there might be some some D1
That's
schools
right.
that see a Megan Nestor and NIL world. You don't know how these players are doing year to year, where they're going to be.
Well, that's exactly right. Keeping talent within the NAIA can be a struggle, and keeping talent within a particular team or conference can be a struggle. In this game in particular, a lot of players have had 1, 2, 3 different stops before coming to these said programs, and especially when you're an all-conference sophomore, you're right. Other schools get interest with the portal involved, and it's Peyton North, a freshman out of Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock Cooper High School was a state high school finalist, a 5'6" freshman guard. She'll head to the foul line, has 5 points, but has picked up 3 fouls tonight, which has limited her action on the hardwood this evening.
That was the first foul on Kamisha Moore. Not too big a foul trouble for Langston. Haley Jordan does have 3, and Skylar Little with 3. Megan Nestor has 3 for Wayland.
But a good trip at the line. That is where Wayland Baptist has done damage tonight. They've scored 9 points from the three-point line, 3 made threes. They've scored 12 points from the foul line in this game.
And 8 points from two-point land.
That's exactly right. They've outscored themselves from 2 and 3 at the stripe. But it's the Lions who lead 42-29. We take a timeout from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball.
Everything. At Pelshake Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
We're back with you here in Fort Worth, Texas. Sooner Athletic Conference semifinal matchup in the Sid Richardson Center alongside Brendan Snow. I'm Will Connerly. Jared Jones, the third member of our crew, and production specialist doing great work all day long. He's been on the microphone for a couple of games as well. Nestor grabs it, and then Moore hitting the deck. And it looks like a foul is going to be called. Yes, indeed, a foul will be called. It will be against North, and that is North's 4th.
Yeah, I'm here agreeing with Wayland head coach Jason Cooper. That should be a travel. Maddie Boyd dove on top of it and rolled with the ball, trying to fight for possession.
And, well, with the clock stopped, an opportunity to score. Why is that? Well, both teams in the bonus, so foul for the next 3:38 will afford 2 foul shots for either team, with both teams having.
Diving a little deeper into the analytics. Langston was 17-5 versus blue teams this year.
Versus blue teams?
Blue teams.
Like blue collar?
Blue in the blue in the color, in the school colors.
Feed inside, and it will be Nestor headed to the line. But blue teams, blue color, and that's a good pull. Where'd you find that one?
There's a lot of them in the Sooner Athletic Conference, so it makes sense when you play well in the conference. It was provided in our game notes on Langston.
That's an intriguing stat. I mean, depending on the scouting report, you wonder, do you wear a different uniform, right? Going into the game.
Where do the analytics stop?
But Langston, 17-5 versus blue teams. they went 17-5 in conference play this year. So a lot of blue teams with it. They went 23-6 overall. So obviously there were some non-blue, blue non-conference teams. But yeah, interesting little nugget there. 3 fired. It's off the back of the iron from Moore. Rebound picked up by the Flying Queens. And Fouquet not able to connect. Works as a pass. And it's put in. Bowden with a good bucket.
I heard the PA call it an assist.
Hey, we'll see what the stats say, but PA wanted to give credit, right? If you misfire a shot like that and your team, on air balls, it's typically the best opportunity to get offensive rebounds because of the fact that if you're being boxed out and it hits off the rim, defense has the advantage, right? Unless you're going up against Nestor, who leads the country in offensive rebounds, sure, but you get the offensive glass there and works as an assist. There's a bucket for Haley Jordan. It's just been fantastic tonight. First time these two teams are meeting in the SAC tournament. Segala off to Bruffy.
Nestor drew the foul down low, fighting with Matty Boyd in the post.
Another interesting little thing, too. Langston, when they leave Oklahoma and come down to the Lone Star State, they're 7-1 against teams from Texas this season, trying to improve to 8-1. So you come with some nuggets. How about that? Langston has another little nugget as well. 7-1 versus Texas teams this season.
What was the one Texas lost?
That's something that you're going to provide, aren't you?
Well, the 1-1 against Wayland.
Wayland, that's right.
That's also one of their blue losses.
Yes. That's the one that you don't typically find, right? That's digging deep, looking at every team's uniform color. And is it when they're wearing blue, or is it if just blue is the predominant school color? But either way, you talk about the Flying Queens. They're trying to get back in this game with 2:04 to go. And with Lyndon Bryce at the foul line, they cut it to 11-point deficit.
Well, that's why it was important. They got into the bonus early in this quarter, starting to chip away with some free throws down to an 11-point game.
Shelley gives it out to Bryce, and it's too strong. Within 11, trying to maybe cut it to a single-digit game as we go to the fourth quarter because both teams have stalled offensively over the last couple minutes.
Yeah, Langston jumped out hot in this quarter. Definitely have slowed down.
And is that stepping out on the baseline, or is a foul called? It's going to be a foul, and it's going to be against who commits the foul. Langston University, they have staff in place in their athletic department to help with NIL, but interesting nuggets surrounding their school don't extend beyond just the athletic department. They're a school known for their research on goats, and GOAT can be used sometimes as an acronym for the greatest of all time, but no, we're talking about just goats. The research in goats, Langston University is known for that.
That sounds like Oklahoma activity, something you do.
Absolutely. And, you talk about on the men's side, they're trying to go down as GOATs, right? Number 2 team in the nation. We'll see.
That's hard to do when you're Lions.
That's exactly right. Flying Queens, though, looking for a comeback in this one. Lining up a 3. That's off the mark. And here's the thing. When you break it down and think about the fact that the Flying Queens have struggled mightily offensively in this game, We've talked about it a lot tonight, Brendan, and that's just because it's been a story. But the fact that they've been able to score 16 points at the foul line, 16 of their 35 points have come at the charity stripe. Well, the charity stripe has been quite friendly to them tonight. And Maria Galib is going back to the foul line to try to add on to that.
Well, especially here in the third quarter. At halftime, Wayland Baptist was 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Now overall, 16 of 21 after that make. Yeah, up to 81%.
Now they've made 18 foul shots tonight. They've scored 18 points at the foul line, 9 at the three-point line.
They scored 15 points this quarter, 13 from the free throw line.
So struggling from the floor, but getting buckets at the stripe. And there's a bucket down low from Maddie Boyd. Segala. You'd think they'd want to attack the rim because that's where they've made their money in this third quarter. 13 made foul shots as that rolls off. And it looks like they will be going back to the line because a foul is called on the floor. And Wayland Baptist, in one of the oddest quarters you'll ever see, they've made just one field goal, Brendan, but they've been able to hang in this game because of their ability at the charity stripe. They are 18 of 22 at the foul line, and like you mentioned, every point has come at the foul line.
Right back at the line, misses the first. The previous foul on Shea roots her seconds. Previously, Haley Jordan went to the bench steals, but sitting in the chairs with 4 fouls.
10-point difference for a team that has just shot 17% from the floor tonight. They're only down by 10. They made 19 points at the foul line. Trying to come back on Langston. They drive inside with 5 to go. Rebound pulled down by Bruffy. She's fouled. And guess what? Wayland Baptist in one of the more impressive quarters you'll ever see from one team at the charity stripe. Well, they're going back to that stripe. They've hung out and spent a lot of time at that charity stripe here in this third quarter. And the stripe is going to be towed with 2.6 seconds left in this third quarter once more.
Shooter Ellie Bruffy, 70% from the free throw line, and on the night, her first trip.
And she connects. So now they've scored 20 points at the foul line in this game. And like you mentioned, they've scored 17 points in this quarter. And 15 at the foul line. And they go to the fourth quarter, perhaps with some momentum. 20 of 26 from the foul line, and they are just down 48-39 as we head to the fourth. From the ASN family of platforms, this is college basketball. Our color analyst, Brendan Snow, what do you have to say about Wayland Baptist, who was down by 16 midway through the third, scoring 15 of their 17 points in the third quarter at the foul line. And now, well, they still trail 48-39, but only down 9 now.
Yeah, a little unorthodox, but that's actually what Wayland's done all year. I said it early in the game. They weren't getting a lot of free throws in the first half, but Wayland typically attempts 23 foul shots a game, makes 15 of them. So the numbers started to catch up in the third quarter and actually overlap it.
And there's Nestor. She's in double figures tonight with 13 points. She does have 3 fouls, something to watch, especially in what has been described as a whistle-happy game. The whistles are flying, so Megan Nestor with 3.
They slowly, like I said, down as many as 16 in that third quarter, has cut it to 7. But how many stops can you string together?
Here in Fort Worth with Wayland's efforts, but that could be silenced a little bit. Michaela Transu with the basket.
And head coach Jason Cooper for Wayland is probably the most animated I've seen him yet tonight. After the foul call, he does not agree with it at all. He got sent back after getting a little too close to the official.
How do we know how long it went?
And now Transu at the foul line as we try to get an inside look at that discussion going on with Jason Cooper and the official. 9-point lead. Nestor going to work in the paint.
He's got a double-double now, 15 and 10.
Back-to-back buckets down low. Just a 7-point deficit. And at this point, whatever you've done so far, despite you shooting 20% if you're Wayland and Langston shooting 40%, throw all those numbers out. We've got a tight game on our hands. 50-43 in the fourth quarter of a semifinal. Ticket to the championship game versus John Brown on the line. And another foul committed by Wayland Baptist. This time, it's going to be on Taylor Houston. That's going to be her fourth. You would think she'll come to the bench. No. You would be incorrect in that thought.
Also interesting in that third quarter. In the first half, the two teams combined for 26 turnovers. In that third quarter, just 3 total.
Both teams coughed it up. A lot of foul shots in that quarter. But Nestor going to work on the glass. Flying Queens right back in it. Down low again to Nestor. Gets her own miss and kicks it out. That's what the best O rebounder in the country looks like. Another O board and a foul call. Bryce headed to the line. A third-team All-SAC member who shoots 66% at the stripe. Linda Bryce, who has 3 points tonight, will go to the foul line. She's 1 of 2 at the stripe tonight. It's been a tough day for her from the floor, just 1 of 9. And then also with Fouquet being 1 of 12, those two combined really struggling, just 2 of 21 from the floor. But with a couple of their key players struggling, they have opportunities right now at the line to cut it tough.
That's what I was talking about earlier, that it's pretty much a miracle that Wayland's in this game as much as they are. Shooting 20% from the field, 16 turnovers. But Langston's been missing plenty of opportunities himself. It's allowed you to hang around and maybe able to steal a very impressive win here.
From the ASM family of platforms, Wayland Baptist to the foul line. When we come back, this is college basketball.
Give it everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
We hope you're enjoying it tonight on YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from across the country on the Antler Sports Network from the ASM family of networks. We're grateful for you tuning in tonight to a great one we have in our hands. Linda Bryce at the foul line. Wayland Baptist was down by 16 midway through the third, and you bet she gets it at the line. And man, oh man, a team that has scored 22 points. We're talking about half their points tonight have come towing the line, that charity stripe.
WBU tried to jump into a 2-1-2 press after the made free throw, but Langston no problem breaking it. Look at Haley Jordan.
How about that spin in the lane, but a little too much spinning. One too many steps, and that's a walk. Maybe gets away from it at the next level, but it's going to be one too many steps. 5-point game. Bryce, left hand. Oh, man, she gets a roll. Linda Bryce starting to heat up, and we've got a 3-point game. You better buckle up with the left.
I love the toughness out of this WBU team, the perseverance to not give up. It could have been easy to give up when you're shooting 18% in a game, not getting to the line in the first half, turning it over often, but they've stayed in and they've fought.
A ball game has broken out here from down 16 to down 3. A jump ball is called. Arrow is going to keep the possession on this end of the floor. But man, we can belabor the point as much as possible, but, you know, with the struggles of shooting, doesn't matter because they continue to play defense. And they continued despite the storm that came. You talk about weathering a storm. Well, they weathered their storm from struggles from the floor by playing great defense, Brendan, and that's what they've done throughout, and they're right back in it. One possession game now.
And the work on the glass in the second half has been phenomenal, and the teams are now evened up in the rebound category.
Michaela Transu with a big bucket to extend the lead.
Langston was +7 on the glass in the first half. Now it's even.
Sigala out for a 3-ball, and it's an air ball from Bryce, and it stays on this end. 11 seconds left on that shot clock.
That's another one you don't get a stat for that if you're Megan Nestor. You don't get an offensive rebound, but she earns that extra possession fighting for it and knocking the ball off Haley Jordan.
At this point, stats, they're cool. They're looking for rings right now, trying to get an opportunity to get to that championship game. And Nestor, there's a stat. There's an O board once again for her. Kick out for 3, and it's buried! Emily Sigala, we told you she had a dog earlier, and she brings out that K9. Big-time shot. And a foul called on the other end. Haley Jordan heading to the foul line. What a shot from Emily Sigala.
Yeah, finally Emily able to knock one down. She was 0 for 3 from 3 before that and had a couple of good looks. She's a strong three-point shooter overall, usually on the season, 27%, but up to the still 27% in conference as well. But I've seen her get hot before in this gym.
Absolutely. Tight game on our hands. Some Monday night action, just 9 minutes till 10 o'clock, and we've got a dandy 4-point game. Nestor inside. She's eaten in the fourth quarter. Screws are tight.
17-10 for Nestor, just taking over.
It's been a bucket, but back inside, Transu with an answer again. Bryce off the mark, and there's Nestor going for the board. She gets called for the foul. That's going to be number 4 on Megan Nestor, somebody who has 17 points, 10 rebounds, and she's coming off a little bit gingerly as well after committing her 4th foul. Something to keep an eye on down the stretch here because she's been instrumental in this comeback. Peyton North also checking in, and she is playing with foul trouble as well.
Yeah, Mike just took a shot from a knee somewhere. She didn't seek out any attention from the trainers or anything. She walked off on her own. A small limp. Imagine she was coming out with the 4 fouls anyway for at least a minute or 2.
When does Jason Cooper put her back in's the question. 3 on the way, in and looks like a jump ball. And it will be Arrow with the Flying Queens. 56-52. A ball game. A ball game. After they were down 16, Wayland Baptist was midway through the third. They have clawed back. A big shot moments ago from Segala. Now Bryce up the floor to Bowden, and she coughs it up, and the turnovers have been what have hurt them tonight as they commit their 18th of the evening.
Yeah, again, it's a miscue there, but it was ran right to beat the press. It was set up perfectly, got Linda Bryce on the leak out in the 2-on-1. Credit the Langston. They were trying to get back, obviously, defensively. Made that pass a little hard, and the catch for Marshall Bowden.
They get a good post look, and it's a finish for Haley Jordan. She scored over 2K in her career, and a big bucket there to put her team up 6. And foul called here as Segala goes to the hardwood. That's a push that is called against Moore. Third on her. We've seen 36 points tonight from these two teams combined at the foul line. And foul shooting in a tight game with 5 minutes to go. Well, that's certainly a storyline down the stretch. Segala to Bowden. Here to Peyton North. In the high post to Houston. Back to North. Leaving it short. She gets the rebound, puts it back up too high off the window, and a foul called. It's going to be against Taylor Houston, and for her, that's her 4th.
And so that might make it a little easier decision, or a forced decision here soon. Actually, this is sound of the buzzer for her 5th. It's the 5th on Taylor Houston.
Oh, they call it for her 5th. Live Stats had us at 4, but she fouls out.
That's what I was saying. It makes the Jason Cooper doesn't get to make the decision anymore. He's forced to put Nestor back in.
So Nestor playing with 4. She has been unbelievable in this game. 17-10, but playing with 4. And some big foul shots. And playing careful, but if you're Langston, you're attacking. You're attacking, right? At that end, when you get the ball, trying to foul out who has been one of the best players on the hardwood and really just in this entire conference all year long, and Megan Nestor.
Man, that was what was working for Langston late in that first half, and early in the second half was attacking and fast breakers. That was a bad, careless turnover.
And for Peyton North, a tough one as she fouls out. So if Peyton North fouls out, Taylor Houston fouls out, and it's Wayland Baptist who has committed 5 fouls in this 4th, 2 for the Lions. So the rest of the way, the double bonus in effect for Langston, as it will be Kamisha Moore who will try to extend on the lead and get it back to a 10-point advantage. After they had it within 3 after the big-time shot, and then they got within 2 after Segala had a big shot. Now nearly back to double figures if this can be made here.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you talk about in basketball or any sport when you're making a big comeback, just kind of running out of gas late? I know it was a different style comeback with all the free throws, but it's just so hard to outscore any team by plus 16 margin to come back in any game.
Nestor going up and unable to connect. Is the gas running out? Moore on the drive. It's a line drive and a chance for an and one.
I thought that was very close by Emily Segala. Personally, on first look, I thought she was there.
Outside the circle, you see right there, but not being there was the call. Man.
It's close. Often they say it's a bang-bang play on those charge and block calls.
It certainly was. But as Moore on the bang bang. She'll come out on top. And she misfires the foul shot. Wayland Baptist trying to feed it inside. Good denial on the deflection from Transu. And bucket in transition. Kamisha Moore again running the floor at a high level. And back inside for Nestor. And we've got a timeout from the ASN family of platforms. This is the SAC tournament.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
We're back with you at the Sid Richardson Center. It's the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament semifinal. 3:44 to go alongside Brandon Snow. Brennan, wild game today. I mean, when you really break it down, both teams struggled to start. Langston got hot in the second. Wayland got hot in the third, from the charity stripe, that is. And they got it within 2 points after being down 16, but now back to a 65-54 deficit as we restart play in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, early Wayland was able to get away with a bunch of those turnovers they had in the first half. Langston wasn't converting on points off turnovers, only 9 in the first half. Now up to 19 points off the 19 turnovers.
Nestor is hooping here tonight, 21-11 as she runs the floor. Had the block on one end and gets 2 on the other. Moore. Oh, bucket in mid-range for her. Just a really nice shot.
Yeah, Wayland been unable to string together a couple of stops, and Kamisha Moore, credit, she's come alive in the fourth quarter.
3 in double figures for Langston, with Jordan leading the way with 21 and 8. Moore and Transu also getting a job done.
Moore with 9 here in the fourth quarter.
And a travel called as Nestor fell down to the hardwood. But she'll get credited with the board, so now 21 and 12.
Credit with the board and the turnover in the Texas three-step.
Timeout called from the ASN family of platforms. This is college basketball.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Back in Fort Worth, Texas, 67-56. Langston, the number 2 seed, looking like they're going to move on to play John Brown, the top team. Looking forward to that championship game coming up tomorrow night. But Wayland Baptist not out of it yet. Maybe something miraculous happens in the Sid Richardson Center this evening. We shall see. Alongside Brandon Snow, I'm Will Connerly. Jared Jones with us as well. Rebound here by Wayland Baptist. Mentioned Langston in the driver's seat. With 2.5 minutes of time. Opportunity for a comeback. 3 fired and it's in. And Emily Segalo with a big-time shot to keep Wayland Baptist's hopes alive. Couple of big late threes for her.
Yeah, but again, can you get a stop? Every time Wayland's gotten a big bucket, Langston has answered it.
8 on the timer. Moore pulls up, left short. Nestor board, no, it's back into the hands of Langston, but it's a shot clock violation. The interesting thing was, would you perhaps reset it after a change of possession? Did they have possession is the question, obviously.
No, I don't think so. I like they are sending teams to the bench to discuss.
They're going to review it. Nestor, we're taking a look at it now. Nestor kept it in. And obviously,
that's not a change of possession.
She did not possess the ball. She just tapped it in. And that's right as the shot clock is expiring. So you tell us at home what you think on the YouTube comments, but we're thinking that probably a shot clock violation, right?
It's going to be close. I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you definitely can see 1 second on the shot clock. Who has the possession right there? Langston. And did Wayland Baptist possess the ball? That's the question. If they have it with 1 on the shot clock, you would think the call would be a shot clock violation, but that's why we've got our basketball expert, Brendan Snow, to break it down for us.
Yeah, it all comes down to determining if did she have possession? Did Nestor? I didn't think so. The ball did go into Langston after the save-in, but I think shot clock expired and ball never touched the rim.
And the call on the court was shot clock violation, right? It didn't feel like there was a definitive. They immediately went to review it, right? It wasn't one of those. No, they immediately went to the scores table. And let's be honest, just as Wayland Baptist has spent a lot of time at the foul line tonight, well, we've had the officials spend quite a bit of time toward the scores table tonight for a variety of reasons, and this time a replay review.
This game's been a Jeff Van Gundy nightmare with all the stoppages.
Oh, man. Now they're bringing the coaches together. Here's the thing. If it was a change of possession, you would reset the shot clock completely, right?
They go to 20.
Right. So, just hard to say that they fully had the possession. Now, the ball was ruled, could the ball have been ruled out of play? 2, then you'd only have 1 second on the shot clock. But they continue play. Really big call, because if you put a fresh shot clock on there for the Lions leading 67-59, it's not like the Flying Queens are completely done, but it would be huge for them to get the ball back with just 1:47 left, with an opportunity to cut into this deficit of 8 points right now.
Well, it's going to be Langston ball.
It will be Langston basketball, okay.
You hear, might have heard Coach Jason Cooper for Wayland putting the pressure on the officials. He said, oh, I better be right, because that's a big call. And I guess it will be a refresh shot clock. It's at 18.
So 18 seconds, so it resets. And tick 2 off it.
Shot clock will remain at 18 seconds after official review.
I mean, Jason Cooper's even directing his complaints at Jason Martin.
Hey, commissioner in the house. We talked to him at halftime. If you want to complain, sometimes you got to go to the top. And so that's what you have. Moore at the foul line is able to connect. A chance to put it to a 10-point lead. And indeed, that is a 10-point lead. We have seen nearly 40 points tonight at the foul line combined. And check that, we have seen over 40 points at the foul line between these two teams.
I've been really impressed with Kamisha Moore here in the fourth quarter. She really closed it out. 9 points in the fourth quarter alone, and a lot of that coming from the free throw line. Third of it.
Impressive what she's done, isn't it?
After a very quiet first 3 quarters.
Langston's shot 29 foul shots. 28 for Wayland Baptist, who's made 22. Sigala from 3, whistle is called. That'll be the third against Langston.
Cameron Shelley.
Galib.
Just her first.
Called for the foul.
Two timeouts remaining for Wayland, 1 for Langston.
A 10-point lead. Minute to go. Sigala turns it over, and it's a free bucket in transition for Moore.
Again, because Emily Sigala only one back at 5'2", just not too much she can do against the bigger scorer.
Not much people can do against Nestor. She's been going to work tonight, but a little bit of a too little, too late. We're down 10 with 40 seconds to go. So Langston and John Brown tomorrow night. That should be a good one.
Yeah, those John Brown took both regular season matchups. Obviously, they went undefeated in conference play, but they were both close. They were a 3-point game at John Brown, 65-62, and then a 6-point game at Langston. So they've had some close matchups, and tomorrow could be a good rubber match.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a dandy. No question about it. A conference tournament championship on the line? You bet. You want to tune in? Well, you can. Tomorrow night for the men's and women's championship games. Jared Jones will be on the call. Having a good time. And that's it. 71-61. Langston wins by 10. And they get the victory. Jimmy the St. Christopher and Jared Jones on the call tomorrow. We hope you join us, but we hope you stay, because we've got Haley Jordan of Langston joining us on the postgame show. She had 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists as we take a timeout from the ASN Family of Platforms postgame show coming up. This is college basketball.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Back with you in Fort Worth, Texas. Langston moving on to the Sooner Athletic Conference Championship game tomorrow night. They win 71-61. An impressive effort for them tonight. And the number 2 seed punching a ticket to the championship game alongside Brendan Snow. I'm Will Connerly, and we have the opportunity tonight to talk with Langston's Haley Jordan. Haley, appreciate you taking some time to join us tonight. You have your 5th 20-point game of the season here tonight, and you go 21 points, 8 rebounds. Big effort for you. What was working out there on the hardwood this evening?
Honestly, I think us running the floor in transition was really our game plan today, and just outrunning our opponent today, and that was pretty much the game plan.
Tell us a little bit about the matchup, fighting down low against such a good player in Megan Nestor. She had a big game and 23 points, 14 rebounds, but between you and Skylar Little, and I'll even shout out Maddie Boyd, y'all fighting down there against her on defense and offense.
No, yeah, Nestor is definitely a great player. She's a great rebounder, and I think our post really understood the assignment today with boxing her out, make sure we find her every time, and really just make sure we put a body on her and find her every time a shot goes up, offense and defensively.
And you guys go up by 16 points in the third quarter, and then Wayland Baptist fights back. They cut it to just a 2-point game late in the fourth. What can you say about this group's resiliency to hang on and ultimately win this semifinal matchup?
Honestly, I really think our chemistry, team chemistry, we're really tight, and we really wanted this game real bad. We really want to win tomorrow. Just our game motive is really keep fighting back, keep bringing intensity, energy, effort every game. We're playing every game like it's our last game, so we're just bringing it every chance we get, basically.
And going against John Brown tomorrow, y'all lost both games against him, but they're both close games, a 6-point loss and a 3-point loss. So y'all feels like you guys have the best chance, obviously, of anyone in the conference of beating them, so it's kind of fitting that it's y'all playing each other in the championship. What are some things you remember about them, about Langston, the matchups, or about JBU that makes them difficult?
Really just finding the shooters. We got to get out on shooters. We can't leave anyone wide open, no wide open threes. But also, they're a good rebounding team. We have to make sure we box out, find Stevens on the offensive end, and stopping her, really.
Oh, amen. Already got the scouting report going. Let's go. Well, we'll let you get going. Haley, really appreciated, a native of Columbus, Ohio, and now somebody who's scoring over 2,000 points in her career here with Langston. Gets a great 20-plus point effort tonight. So, Haley, thank you for joining us on the postgame show. That's Haley Jordan, and it's Langston going to the championship game coming up tomorrow night. It'll be Langston and John Brown, and for our entire crew, Jared Jones and Brendan Snow, I'm Will Connerly saying so long from Fort Worth, Texas, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night for the championship games.